Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, wherever you are in your part of the world, whatever time zone you are currently living in. This is King B of King B News and Views with another video. And in today's video, while I'm out here enjoying nature, enjoying this sun, I'm going to touch on a little bit about these riots that's going on in LA. These LA riots are something serious. You know, people out there protesting. You got the National Guard out there. You got the Marines out there, or on their way out there, whichever one. But you know, although there are some people, real protesters out there, there are also plants. You know, it's like watching a rerun of a sitcom or a movie. We've seen the same script being played out, right? Amongst the protesters are plants, and they are there, and they are paid to do one thing: to ramp it up, to cause chaos, right? They got one job to do. Okay, we're seeing the same script being played out. We've seen it happen in previous protests, right? We've seen it over and over and over again. Like in one previous protest, they found pallets of bricks placed strategically, you know, conveniently for the protesters to grab and throw these bricks, right? You know, we've seen the same script, people. To all my folks out there, my like-minded people out there, folks out there, please, you know, be safe. You know, don't get involved in that, because it's nothing but a setup. There's more going on than who people call the illegals. There's more going on with that. Yes, people out there protesting and they fighting for what they believe is their right. That's their beliefs, right? But also, you got these plants out there who are getting paid to go and mix in with the people protesting, and they're getting paid to do one thing, one job. We should know this already. We should know this already, right? My folks out there, my like-minded folks, again, stay out of that. You know, you got other brothers and sisters out there making you know, videos, and they got the same message I'm giving right now. Stay out of that. It's a trap. Okay? Don't fall for it. Do not fall for that. Stay out of that. You know, stay close at home. You know what? Protect your family. My brothers out there, protect your women. Protect the children. Protect the babies. That comes first. Nothing's more important than that. Be at home with your family. Keep your family safe. Right? That's the job. That's the goal. Okay? And those of us who are like-minded, get together as a community, come together and plan and stick together and keep the community safe. That's what we're supposed to be doing. All right? Keep the community safe. Okay? Everything else is just like a movie. It's going to play out however it's going to play out. Right? I was watching a video earlier today, and I don't remember whose channel I was watching, but they played the clip of this man talking about how he and his buddy was paid they had to go to some warehouse, and they were given Mexican flags and was told to go out there and do whatever. Don't know whether he was telling the truth or not, but we do know from previous research and looking at previous protests, you have plants, people out there mingling in. and they're getting paid to do one thing, right? To turn what start out as a so-called peaceful peaceful protest, the next thing you know, there's violence and chaos. See, and now you got the National Guard called in, and the Marines being called in, or whatever have you, and this is what happens. Okay, this is what they want, right? Just like they've been trying to kickstart or set this race war, get this race war going. You know what I'm saying? And we got to stay focused. We got to stay focused. We have to keep a balanced mind, or achieve a balanced mind, and we got to remember what's more important. So again, to all my brothers out there, nothing is more important than your woman, your children, your babies. Nothing's more important than that. Make sure they're safe. Make sure the babies are safe, your children are safe. Make sure your women are safe, right? And then come together as a community and protect the community. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Everything else is going to play out however it's going to play out. And that's just my opinion about that. All right? I was watching another video, this sister video earlier, and she made a video talking about the rise in HIV and STDs and STIs. Some crazy stuff, man. I mean, one, I believe it was a nurse talking about some STI, a flesh-eating bacteria. You know what I'm saying? And it's spreadable. People are going to the hospitals, and men and women, and their stuff is messed up, man. Their genitals and their vulvas is messed up. Flesh-eating bacteria. And I see these things going on. I watch these things going on, and we are definitely living in the last days. If you are not convinced that we're living in the last days, I don't know what you're seeing or what's going on with your mind. We are most definitely living in the last days, people. For real. And there is a separation going on. Separation of the wheat from the tares. And it's about energy. Everything is energy. Where your mind at? What frequency are you vibrating on? What energy are you do you have? Are you vibrating negatively or positively? Or are you balanced? Which one are you? Where your mind at? Where's your heart at? Right? Because your heart is more important than your mind. Your heart is a generator, right? And your heart is what controls your toroidal field. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what a toroidal field is, look it up. You have a toroidal field. You have both positive and negative energy around you, right? You have both masculine and feminine energy around you, in you, all right? Balance is key, okay? Elevating your mind, elevating your heart, and becoming one within yourself. Marrying all energies. I've talked about this in previous videos because it's important, right? This is how you free yourself, okay? And becoming one within yourself. This is how you break free from all of this chaos and all this negativity and all of this wickedness, all of this evil. This is how you break free. You got to go within yourself. And I'm going to keep sharing this message. I'm going to keep talking about this because of the days we are living in right now, as I'm speaking, with all of this mayhem and all this wickedness going on. And a lot of it is a setup. A lot of this is being done purposefully. It's intentional. Okay? It's intentional. This is what they want. They want a reason to have the National Guard call send the National Guard in, send the Marines in, and or declare a martial law or whatever. This is what they want. It's all a part of their agenda, the wicked ones. They also feed off of this energy. All of that energy, all that negative energy, fear, because you got people who are afraid, right? They feed off that. They feed off that. Best thing to do is remain calm. Plan. Stay and stick by your loved one's side. This is not the time to be focusing on nonsense and bullshit and holding on to grudges, and it'd be silly stuff too, silly things. You holding on to grudges over something foolish, a simple disagreement. When all you really have to do is just come to the table, sit down, and have a discussion and talk it out. Lay your cards out on the table. Be 100% honest. If you can do that, you'd be surprised how you can work things out, right? And if you can't work things out and it really is that bad, okay, then you have a decision to make. But most of the time, coming to that table, sitting down and having a discussion solves the issue. Whatever issues or problems you have or you think you have within your household, with your loved ones, with your family, right? Just talking about it. Talking about it, having a discussion, right? And no one gets up and leave that table until, all the cards been laid out. This is what needs to happen because we need each other. This is not the time to be separating and going your separate ways and one person by themselves, or you're going here and there and you're breaking the families apart, right? This is not the time to be separating and breaking families apart, especially when there's little ones involved. Now, if you have no choice, you have no choice. Now I'm not saying stay in a toxic situation. Especially if there's some violence going on. I'm not saying that. Get away from that and seek the help you need. There's help out there. But if it's not a toxic situation, if it's something simple and you just can't seem to get over it, then talk that out, work that out, keep the family together, right? Because you're stronger together. Again, we need each other, especially my melanated brothers and sisters out there. That's who I'm really talking to right now. We need each other more than ever. We got to get away from this brothers versus the sisters versus the brothers, talking against each other. And really what it is we're suffering from, a generational curse, because this was done to us when you look at the history, right? And we just haven't been we've been struggling with breaking that cycle, breaking that spell, But it's good to see that a lot of us have woken up, and some of us are still waking up. That's a good thing. That's a good thing because we have work to do. We got to keep each other safe. We got to protect each other. We got to love each other. I'm talking about true love, not unconditional. Unconditional love is what I'm talking about, not conditional love, not fake love. I love you if you can provide this, or if you do this, or if you think. No, I'm talking about unconditional love. True love is what we need. True love is what we need. You know what I'm saying? So this is just my thoughts on the matter. I've seen people talking about the 14th coming up in what, 3 days, another 3 days. I don't know if anything's going to happen on the 14th. This coming 14th is supposed to be, from what I understand, a mass protest in different states. All I'm going to say is this: whether it happened or not, to my brothers and sisters out there listening to this video, stay safe. Stay safe. Make sure you have constant communication with each other. Make sure you know where your children are. You have young ones. You know, schools are getting out, and in some places school is already out. Make sure you know where your children are. You know, you got young teenagers out there. They wanna go out and hang out with their friends or whatever they want to do. They want to be out and about. You have young, even the young, older teenagers or young 20-something-year-olds. Make sure you stay in constant communication. Make sure you know where you're going, where you're going to be at, how long, what time you're going to be coming home, right? And you in constant communication. It's real important. It's real important. Okay? It's about being safe and keeping each other safe, right? And sticking together. And also having a plan. I talk about plans all the time in my videos. At the end of my videos, I mention planning and having more plans. And one thing you can do, everybody's out and about, doing whatever, working or hanging out. You got to have something set. Okay, listen, if something happens, we're going to try to get home. If you can't get home, then we're going to meet at this location. You should have at least 2 locations. Everybody should know where to go, where you're going to be, where to meet up at. All right? That's one thing you can do. Everybody should know, no matter where you are, each person is, work, whatever, hanging out, whatever, something happened, there's an emergency, where to go. Where to go. Right? That's an easy one right there. That's an easy one. And by now, for families and friends, loved ones, again, you should have something set up. One person collecting canned goods, one person stocking up on water, one person stocking up on medical supplies, whatever have you, right? So that way you don't have one person trying to do it all by themselves. That's something else you can do. And if you haven't started preparing yet, so a lot of us are going through, so everybody going through something. It is hard out here with the inflation, rising prices. There's been no let up or slow down yet. I just seen something about an egg recall a couple days ago. Every day there's a certain recall, on whatever type of food or whatnot, and the prices are sky high, right? But do the best you can. Try to get something, just do the best you can. You can hit up them dollar stores, and get what you can, whatever have you. You find a bargain, check those coupons, whatever have you. Y'all know how to do it, because it's hard out here and the prices are sky high with this inflation that's been going on. That's why it's best to work together as a unit where everybody's supporting each other. So that's really all I wanted to say in this video while I'm out here in nature, enjoying this weather, right? There's been a few days where I'm at where it's just been cloudy and where there's clouds up there now, but at least there was some sun out today, and it was raining and everything. But that's all I wanted to say, y'all. That's it. That's it. We need each other, man. Men and women, we need each other. We need each other, for real. There's a lot going on out there, you know. And once again, I'm going to say it again. Whatever problems you may be having, if it's not a real toxic situation with there's violence going on, whatever, that run, get away, get out of there. You know, nobody need to be in a toxic situation where there's stuff going on like that. But if it's not that, sit down and work that out and talk it out. Solve it. You know, solve it. Take all the time you need. No one's getting up from this table until all our cards is laid out across the table and we solve the issue, flush it, get rid of it, flush it, and now we can move on with taking care of business and making sure we plan and keep each other safe and support one another. Because again, that's what we need more than ever. And once again, school is out. School is already out in some places. In some places, today was the last day of school. Whatever. The young ones want to go outside and play. You know, you got young children, you got teenagers want to go out there, whatever have you. Make sure you stay in constant communication. Make sure you have a plan. Make sure everybody knows in case if there's an emergency. Everybody knows exactly where to go, exactly where to meet up at, and then you go from there. Okay, so if you haven't at least done that, make sure you have that talk, and everybody know exactly what to do in case of an emergency, and then you go from there. But I'm King B. This is King B News and Views. Welcome to the channel. Shout out to my subscribers. You know, if you're watching this video, please like the video. It's free. You know, I see a lot of you're watching the videos, but you're not liking the video. Like the video. You know, like the video. Leave a comment. Help the videos get out there, because what I'm talking about is important. You know what I'm saying? Like the video. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Right? I have a lot of videos where I'm sharing valuable, important information, you know, and words of encouragement. All right? But once again, like I always say how I end my videos, love yourself unconditionally. Keep your loved ones close. Plan. And if you think you've planned enough, plan some more. Stay in constant communication. Sit down at the dinner table. Eat as a family. And while you're eating as a family, talk. You know, talk about what's going on. Make sure everybody is up to speed about what's going on, the times we're living in. Right? Talk about how important it is to stick together. Talk about how important it is to communicate, to be in constant communication. Right? Talk about these things. All right? It's important, people. And as always, for my brothers out there, for my men out there, protect the women, our children, and our babies, right? Nothing's more important than that. Keep the women and children and babies safe, all right? And that's all I got for y'all to the next video. Stay safe out there, everyone. Peace.